After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 408. Today is Saturday, June 27, 2020, as we are recording. I am Arlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy. Our mic just tried to attack us, so hopefully
you
it'll
have
stay.
sound.
Well, it looks like they have sound.
At least we checked it this time.
Yeah, it's doing the thingy.
Okay.
We have had issues where I think we have sound and we don't have sound.
Okay. We want to welcome all new and returning viewers. We're glad to have you with us. If you are new, we hope you will find something that you enjoy and that you'll stay. And if you are returning, well, we're always glad to have you back. If you are in the shadows, new or returning, please consider subscribing. You just press that little button on the right that says subscription or subscribe or whatever it says, and hit the little bell so you can get notifications. We'd love to have you with us. And if you want to take part in the alongs and giveaways that we have occasionally and all the fun type of stuff, that takes place in our PHN home, which is phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. Okay? We'd love to see you there as well. Before I go into our new members and stuff, I do want to reiterate our 400 episode giveaway. The winner was Family Diva. Family Diva, please contact us letting us know that you won. If anybody knows her, you might want to give her a little nudge.
If anybody knows her.
Yes, if anybody knows her, like Valeria.
I think everybody knows her.
No, not necessarily.
It's Sue.
It is Sue, but not everybody knows her if they're not on the PHN group.
Sue.
So I can't contact her because I can't, but Valeria or Rena or
Brittany
somebody can contact her and give her a little nudge and say, hey, look at the podcast, okay? you won something. Because I can only keep it for about a week more before I have to repull, and I don't want to do that. So, Sue, please contact us as soon as you're able.
Yes.
Okay. We do have new members both in the regular...
We should talk about why we got so many.
No, we'll get to that after I talk about the new members. Oboe Head. Oh, we should do our tea first.
We should do our tea first.
Okay, you have to go first.
I do. Even though I'm sure mine is better.
Ha.
Okay, so people were mentioning last time, someone mentioned last time they were confused because they couldn't find what Andy's tea was.
And I did respond, I think, but go ahead and respond here
This
too.
is Plum Deluxe tea. This is what we call Andy's tea because the the person who started the business, he has a lot more people working with him now. But it used to be, I think, really just him.
Him and one other person, I think, or two other people.
But, so Andy has Plum Deluxe tea. That's the guy in charge.
It's Plum Deluxe tea.
Yes.
And it's amazing tea.
Yes, it is. Hand blended fresh with love. Or with Purple Heart is actually what it says. And this is plumdeluxe.com. And it's Oregon breakfast black tea. Like a beautiful sunrise, celebrate today with this rich, bright cup of love. All organic, black tea, honeybush tea, orange peel, hazelnut essence, love, gratitude, has caffeine. And we have severe storm warning, so I have a headache and I can use this. This is good. But anything with hazelnut is.
Yes, except for that one that I didn't like too much.
That wasn't hazelnut.
It was a hazelnut chai, hazelnut dessert chai tea.
Oh, I guess it was. This is in my bunnies mug. All I want to do is hug all the bunnies.
This is kind of smoky for my tasting.
Yeah. I do like a smokier tea than you do.
I did like it, but it's a little smoky.
Well, yeah, I tend to like a smokier tea. I mean, think of my Edgar Allan Poe.
Right.
Which you also don't care for. Well, you're okay with it, but you don't care for it because it's smoky.
There are very few teas that I don't like that Andy makes.
But like where she might like some of the lighter teas than I do, like she prefers some of the things that are lighter in taste than I do. Simply because I don't have very good.
Well, she's strong to very strong. I'm medium to strong. And even some light on occasion.
What I would consider light.
This is what my daughter's head looks like. It's an oboe for all our new viewers, and that's a long story. If you want to know, just contact me and I'll tell you.
I'm the oboe head.
Yes, you are the daughter.
Well, you have another Don.
But they don't know that. Some of them do, but not all of them.
A lot of them do.
Anyway.
Davina is famous.
Yes, she's infamous.
That's
even more than famous, and that is a reference. If you know the reference, please put it down in the box or on the group. In my mug, in my oboe head mug, daughter's head is an oboe head, is Plum Deluxe tea. And no, we do not get paid or anything like this. We just like Plum Deluxe tea this much. This is vanilla sugar cookie dessert tea, lightly sweet and spiced, full of love. And this is green rubios, cinnamon chips, blackberry leaf, ginger root, fennel seeds, vanilla essence, love, gratitude, no caffeine. I made a mistake not having caffeine today, but that's okay. Yes. So this is awesome.
I just realized that I should be getting a purple package pretty soon.
Yes, you should be. For your month?
Yes. And where did I put... I have my Kindle. Oh, there it is.
This is amazing. This is technically a holiday tea. I do not care. And
you
Christmas
tend to
enjoy.
really like the holiday teas.
Here, move your thing so you can have some. Okay.
Oh, this one's really spicy. Which one is this guy?
This is the
vanilla sugar
cookie.
I
You
have
can taste
some
the
of that.
cinnamon in this.
You can very much. I have to be in the right mood for that one because it is so strongly cinnamon, and I don't always want cinnamon. For a while, I thought I reacted to cinnamon, but it turned out not to be.
Right.
But I think in the back of my head, I always just kind of like,
Well, it's kind of like me and some of the flour stuff in the teas. I'm kind of...
Yeah, because I blamed cinnamon so long for one of my reactions when it was actually what was, I think it was like high fructose or something in the applesauce.
Okay, let's welcome our 2 official members, and then we'll explain why we got such a huge influx of members, so we're very, very grateful for. We have Crafty Fairy Godmother, welcome.
Welcome.
And Emogil 74.
And this is to our PHN home.
Right.
This doesn't count everyone who joined on YouTube.
Yeah, we have, because we are doing something really special. First of all, welcome.
Yes, welcome to both of you.
And I think they are also maybe involved with our...
I think they are.
The Christmas...
I feel like I recognize Crafty Fairy Godmother.
Yeah. So we got asked by Crystal, who is chronically crocheting. Lovely lady, lovely podcast. If you don't watch it, you should check her out. She said, hey, I'd heard about this from both her and Linnea, watching about the Christmas in July fairies, which I thought, okay, that sounds cool, but I don't know how to do it, and it's... So she said, hey, you want to do this? I'm like, let me talk to Talia. And I talked to Talia, and the same day we said yes. And so we did the little video with the hashtag Christmas in July fairies. And since then, we've got a wonderful influx of people. We are so excited to meet all these new people, all these new podcasters.
They have a playlist in case you're you're in the market for new podcasts.
If you go to our hashtag Christmas in July fairies, you can see the playlist. It's in the drop box. That will take you, it's a link that will take you to all the people who are involved, all the podcasters who are involved. You can be a contestant, or you can be like us, a fairy. But
right, contestant can get prizes, fairies can't, they get prizes.
Again...
and you have to be a podcaster.
Again, I'm not sure about the podcaster not being able to get it. Remember I said I'm not sure.
Oh, do you think that changed?
I don't know. I think it might have. I'm not positive. But in any event, no, maybe it didn't change.
No, it didn't.
Okay, that still remains the same. So you can be a contestant or you can be a fairy.
And a fairy has to be a podcaster, and they don't get a prize.
Now, you can watch our video to see all the ins and outs, but the gist of it is that if you subscribe to... There's over 150 of us doing this. And if you subscribe... Fairies. And then there's countless contestants. If you subscribe to each one of them because you want to be a part of this as a contestant, then when they pull the major draw, one person gets a little gift from everybody. So it's look at our video, hashtag Christmas in July fairies, if you want to know about that, more of that. It sounds like a lot of fun, and it is a lot of fun. We're enjoying all the people we're meeting.
And it's mostly crafters, but there might be a couple people who are not.
Exactly.
So
just you might want to check that out. Check out our Christmas in July, our hashtag Christmas in July fairies, and if you like that, you can tell other people about it. If you're a podcaster and you want to do it, you have until the end of June to get in on this. I think June 30th is the closing day for fairies, and then the 15th is the draw
day.
The draw day for the people who are pulling names out of each podcast, and then we send them all to the person who is orchestrating this, and that person will pull on July 25th, which is Christmas in July, and then we'll have the winner. So if you want to know more about it, you can check out our Christmas in July fairies podcast.
At least. Keep talking like you do. I'm going to walk around behind because I forgot my Heart Bunnies bag, which has all my mini skeins in it, and I think I'm going to need to start a new square pretty soon.
Okay.
It's okay. You usually talk during this part without me anyway. Oops.
All right. So, moving on from the Christmas in July, which it seems to be mostly crocheters, but I'm sure that
there's at least one
there's
person
at least
who does
some
knitting
there's
too.
some people. Well, we do knitting, and there's I know Linnea does knitting, and chronically crocheting is learning to knit. So, what?
She just started.
Yeah, she just started. So there's a lot. It'll be fun. Okay. So moving on to our alongs. By the time we do our next video, we will have started cardiac dysautonomia and tortoise versus hare. Cardiac dysautonomia is to foster awareness of cardiac issues and dysautonomia, which is what Taya has with POTS, EDS, and MCI. Is it MCIS or MCAS?
MCAS.
MCAIS. And so that's, we'll be focusing on that, even if we don't give enough information.
I'm sorry, MCAS, Mast Cell Activation Syndrome.
Okay. Yeah. MCAS. So even if we don't give a lot of information, it's for awareness. And what you need to know about that, I'll be posting rules in the group later on. And we'll talk about it more when we get started. But it's a 3-month along, and items have to be shades of blue, turquoise, aqua, red, pink, black, or white. And the reason for those color choices are that the blues and teals and things like that, turquoises, stuff like that, those are dysautonomia colors. And the reds and the pinks are cardiac. And the black and white is for zebras, because zebras are things that are rare, and dysautonomia, a lot of them are rare or not very common. I guess that's the same thing, but...
Well, and the reason for zebras, why that's for something... what you learn in medical school and what I actually learned in nursing school is they would always tell us when we were thinking about diagnoses and when we were looking at a patient just trying to figure out what was wrong with them. They said, it's more often than not going to be a more common thing than a rare thing, because a lot of times students want to go, oh, well, I read about this really cool rare thing, I bet they have that.
Yeah.
So they would go like, well, that's not usually what happens. Usually if you hear hoofbeats, it's not a zebra, it's a horse.
Right. Yeah.
So from that statement that it always gets passed down in medical school and nursing school, from that statement, that's where people with rare conditions get known as zebras. And actually, the Ehlers-Danlos community in particular, we all tend to call ourselves zebras. Everything is black and white for them with zebra stripes, and they also and more than one zebra is a dazzle.
A dazzle.
A dazzle.
So I will be re-dyeing up my colorway. If it's not a horse, it might be a zebra. Or no, if it's not a horse, it must be a zebra. And I may be doing also a black and white colorway as well.
You still have your zebra on the hook.
Yes, I do. My dazzle. It's a zebra.
Yes.
So I will be starting to do colorways for both of these to help, to give you extra chances at a prize for those alongs. Okay, so tortoise versus hare is not our baby. That's Laura's concert baby. That's Crocheting Hoovian. You guys have heard us talk about her constantly, so you're probably tired of hearing about her from us, but that's okay. You can hear more about her. She, we do a lot together, and she's She's the brain behind Tortoise versus Hare. And we will go into what that is. It's exactly what it says, Tortoise versus Hare. It started out being just toys, but now it's anything that's tortoise or hare related. So it can be a toy, it can be a yarn, it can be a pattern.
Well, it started out not even just toys. It was a focus on my designs because I was a fairly new designer at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just had, for hares at that point, I still only had Oops. And I still only had...
You had Biddy and Timmy.
I don't know if I had Biddy yet. I think I might have just had Timmy.
You made Biddy during the course of it because people made Biddy. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, maybe.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive.
Biddy was developed maybe during one of them, not
right,
if it was for the first one. But I had maybe one or two turtles. But it was very early on.
Mm-hmm. So that's something that we'll be doing, and the information on how to participate on Laura's side of it, if you're not on Ravelry, is in our group. She has a Facebook, and I think she has an email, so that you guys can do that if you're not on Ravelry. She's very, very accommodating. Okay, she always has been. So, and I don't want to get into yet what she has donated, because I want to make sure that we first thank her and tell her yay. Yeah. So, but she is donating a prize.
Yes, which is awesome.
And so that's something that we're looking forward to. So we will have those two alongs, and then the continuing, we're going into current alongs. This one will also be continuing all through the year. This one will be continuing through the year. It's the PHN Charity Cal Lals all year long. And this one started in January, and it goes through the end of December. So midnight going into, December 31st into January 1st is when it ends. And again, we assume that we're going to be closing it, since we're on the East Coast, assume that we're going to be closing it around midnight East Coast time, but that could change depending on who closes it. If we're here on the East Coast, it might be a little later because we get up in the next morning. If someone overseas, one of our moderators is overseas, if she closes it, it might be midnight Eastern Standard Time.
One of our people
is Texas.
Well, also the one who's in Georgia tends to stay up to like super early. So
you might you have a window of about 6 or 8 hours.
And then we have one in the Netherlands.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, did you say that?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
I said in Europe.
Did you say that?
The Netherlands is in Europe.
Well, I didn't hear you.
I did teach you about this.
No, I just don't remember what you said.
Anyway,
I actually really have no recollection of you saying that.
Anyway, we have a 6 or 8 hour window, so in order to be safe, try to get it in before midnight on Eastern Standard Time, December 31st. Okay? That way, and then if you find out that, hey, there's a couple hours left,
right,
they haven't closed it yet,
into it.
Then you can do it. Okay?
Yeah, because if it's still up, you still have time to get in.
Yes, as long as it's up, as long as it's open, you have time. Okay, now, all right, into the particulars. I'm going to read the rules from this along, noting that whatever other alongs we're talking about, it's the same basic rules. I will tell you what the changes are, the differences are.
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to aspirate my tea.
Okay, now, the projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. Previous whips, works in progress, will be allowed, but must be worked on during the along. Chatter and pictures are all on the same thread. All charity projects will be accepted. Baby items, hats not hate, sewn masks, medical masks during this pandemic. It's the only sewn item we ever accept. And for the duration, we will be accepting that for the charity along for 2 chance at a prize. These are 2 chance at a prize for the FO. As are any Franciscan Gypsies designs, my designs, Laura Concert's designs, Laura's yarn, or my yarn. Laura's yarn is Lollipop Girl yarn, and my yarn is Franciscan Gypsy.
Really?
Lady Fernico Creations, okay?
Piggybacking on my brand, huh?
Yes. So, those are all featured yarn/patterns. If they're finished objects, you get 2 chances at a prize. If you use a featured yarn with a featured pattern, that is 3 chances at a prize, and you are responsible for your own multiple postings. And this all happens on our PHN home group, not
responsible me.
Quotes. Okay. Yes. I don't remember where it's from, but
reference. Oh my gosh.
I'm busy.
Stop being. It's Real Bravo.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that.
The Spanish guy.
Okay. Oh, right.
Remember now?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Sorry, that was rude, but I couldn't believe she didn't remember. It's a favorite movie,
and we haven't seen it in ages, though. So
well,
you guys,
it's goofy.
If you know what it is, put it down in the box, and we'll see. Okay, because I couldn't remember. because she does this when I'm on a roll and I'm trying to think of something. Anyway, so if you have a featured pattern, finished object, 2 chance at a prize. Featured yarn, finished object, 2 chance at a prize. The 2 together in one thing, like Taya's Davina hat in my yarn or Laura's yarn, 3 chance at a prize. You responsible for the multiple postings. It is in the PHN home group. This is where all this takes place for us, okay? Let's see. It's hashtag PHN 2020 on Instagram. And the prize for this quarter, which is we're ending the second quarter already. Oh my gosh.
Crazy, right?
We have a knit baby book for one person and a Croy Socks FX yarn 2 skein set, the cadet colorway, for a second winner. And that's donated by Mama C, who's Christina. Thank you very much. And then we will start with the third, okay? Now, because this one goes to the end of the year. Autism awareness, on the other hand, this one only goes until the end of this month. So you have about 5 days. No, less than 5 days. Today's 27th as we are recording. So you have 3 days to finish up whatever it is you want to do for autism awareness to whenever it is we close the thread. Again, multiple people who can close it. So just keep an eye on it. If it's open, you can post in it, okay? But to be on the safe side, you want to make sure you get something you've been working hard on. Make sure you get it in as soon as you finish, okay?
Because you might not get
Because you might not get it in there, all right? Autism awareness, basic rules. It's to foster autism awareness, autistic spectrum. My daughter Davina and Taya's sister has Asperger's syndrome along with other things. So this is something that's close to our hearts, and we have been doing this for years.
And the Asperger's syndrome is no longer considered in the DSM-4 to be a diagnosis. However, we still keep referencing as Asperger's just from being used to it. Asperger's is now called just autism.
I don't agree with that designation. I think that's a mistake, but that's okay. I'm a special educator. I don't think that should be done. Anyway.
Now, you do need to clarify your special education degree was... You haven't updated anything.
But that doesn't mean I wasn't a special educator.
No, it does.
Okay.
It does. My only point is that if any new studies have come
right,
forth,
and I do.
things.
I read occasionally. I'm not up to date.
That's more of what I mean.
I still, based on what I see, think it's a mistake.
Because she lives with it daily, even though she's not up to date on the literature.
I'm not up to date on the studies and things like that. I am up to date on living with a person who has this.
So it's a slightly different than someone who is currently in the field.
Right.
So if there is a reason that there might be a reason that we don't know about simply because we're not involved in that.
Right.
In the current
and for full disclosure, she's got other things going on as well.
Yes,
but,
she does, which always makes things more complicated.
Yeah. Well, when it was Asperger's and even autism, a lot of times it isn't by itself. It's like Taya's
Most conditions seem to be not by themselves.
Yeah, they're not by themselves. And if you look at things, several different things, you say, oh yeah, she has this, she has this, she has this. So it's, Okay, anyway.
So everyone looks different when they're on the spectrum.
Yeah. That's why it's a spectrum disorder. Anyway, because it's just many different things that can happen.
Wow, that's more awareness that we've done all year.
Well, we've done here and there. Most of what we do for awareness now because
we are so good at this awareness stuff.
Well, no, it's awareness. We're not necessarily giving information. We point them in the right direction. They can go to certain places to look, but this is a Knitting and Crocheting podcast, and our awareness is the bright colors.
I was just sitting here thinking, I'm wearing cardiac type colors because this is red of oxygenated blood and the blue of deoxygenated blood.
Okay then.
It amused me, and I'm going to go back to my knitting now.
Okay, so these projects, the long and the short way of it. What is it that she used to say?
Who's she?
Knitting in circles. She always used to say the short.
Oh, to make a long story long.
To make a long story long, yes. So anyway,
I think that's what she used to always say.
Something like that. It was something that was not long story short.
Yeah, I think it was to make a long story long.
So she, anyway, getting back to this, our co-host for this is Laura Concert. Okay, so she Crocheting Hoovian. Check out her podcast if you haven't already. The tag on Instagram is hashtag PHNAA2020 for us. I'm not sure what hers is. Let's see here. Everything else is the same there. We do have featured patterns and featured yarns. Now, unless otherwise stated, normally the featured yarns are mine and Laura's, and the featured patterns are mine, Talia's, and Laura's. Okay?
Unless it's otherwise stated.
Unless it's otherwise stated. Like when I had the Lady Frinico Creations Cal for the mystery yarns and things like that.
Right.
That was just my yarn and Talia's patterns because it was in-house type of thing.
I need to actually check and see if we have posts in the Cal.
You mean the...
For the two of ours. I haven't checked in a while. I've been on different...
There have been some.
Okay. I need to make sure to pull from them as well for the...
Yeah, because you said you would.
Yes.
Yeah. So, the rules for this, okay, are bright colored. It must be at least 75 to 85% for us, bright colored. More would be even better. And it has to be knit, well, I said knit, luminaire, crochet. I already said who was featured patterns. I forgot to say braid it bright from 10 hours or less. And if you don't know who 10 hours or less is,
our very own
that's George, our very own George. And if you're old school with us, you know why we say this.
Yes.
Okay? It's not creepy, honest.
No.
10 hours or less is George, and he's amazing.
He supported us way back when we first got started.
We had 10
half
members.
an eon ago.
We had 10 members. He was there, I think. He's amazing.
He was like one of our first.
Yes. He...
I don't know why he picked our little baby podcast.
But he did, and he was very supportive, and he did the Braid It Bright for us for our first autism awareness.
He helped me when I was writing my first pattern to figure out how to format it so it made sense. We owe George so much.
He is on Ravelry. He's also got his own website, 10 hours or less. We every so often will post some of his sales when they come through my email.
Please check him out. He does crochet and knit.
And
yes. He's just an awesome guy.
He's phenomenal. He's helpful.
I mean, he didn't have to help a new designer.
No, he didn't. So he's amazing. We always do like to tout him. He's got wonderful patterns. And he
always has sales going.
Yes, he does.
I mean, all the time.
And a lot of times
if you get on his email list, he'll send them to you.
He will.
Follow him on Instagram, too.
Yes, he's amazing. So he's he's our featured for his Braid It Bright.
Yes.
And then Winding Journey by Juliana Lund. And the Weighted Lapgan and Teddy Bear and Lapgan pattern by Amy, who is Miss World. And I think she is only on Ravelry.
As far as I know. I'm sure if you look up Miss World... or the name of her patterns, or maybe the two together, you'll be able to find wherever she happens to be.
Right. And
Ravelry is where we knew her to be.
Right. She was very sweet. She made that for our autism awareness. So, okay. So that takes care of our current alongs. We told you already.
Many distractions.
We already talked about the Christmas in July fairies. So we're going to move into our rough drafts, which is whips. If you don't have anything else to say.
Nope, because we probably should keep this thing rolling, because if I have this much energy at the beginning, you know there's a crash coming.
Especially with the weather.
Yes. So, it's inevitable. I am
inevitable.
That was exactly what I was thinking of. Yes.
You should know the quote, the reference, not going to tell you.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
And I know the response, but if we do the response, it'll give it away. So.
Yes.
Because we're geeks. Yes. Okay, go on.
So, let me calm myself down a bit, because my nervous system gets all like, yeah.
You're not flushing yet, so that's good.
No, but that's a mast cell reaction. I haven't got my mast cells mad yet.
Don't talk. Just talk.
Ooh, hang on. Let me bring myself down from my high. Okay. Bringing up my show notes so I can make sure I cover all my projects, because I do not trust my foggy brain. Someone commented on the Christmas video, and I responded, and then after I responded, I realized my response made no sense based on what she said. So I edited it and said, here's a heart, because my old response made no sense. Just some brain fog. Sorry. Heart.
Yes.
So if you see this, you know who you are. That was a brain fog moment.
Yes.
Sorry.
I know I answered somebody who asked the question, and then when you clarified it, I was like, oh, maybe she didn't want to know that. Okay.
Well, mine was like, it was completely like, there was no way that's what she meant.
Yeah. Ellie, I did answer you, and then I added a comment that if that wasn't the response you were looking for,
You just
contact
got
me.
more information you actually wanted.
Yeah. So let me know if you need other information, because apparently brain fog runs in the family. I lost my brain cells when I had children. Yes.
So, this is my just a little chilly miter square blankets, and it's based off of a tutorial video series that KF Jones at Bakery Bears had done when they first started their Patreon channel. I think this was
4 or 5 years ago.
I think it was in the first year that they did that she did this.
Yeah.
It was very early on. And it just started off as a tutorial video. And I started my first blanket, which still isn't done. She's
finished other ones, but
I finished baby blankets.
Yes,
I
yeah.
have not yet finished adult blanket.
Yep.
This will be the first.
Yes. You finished a lap gown.
Well, that's because I got tired of knitting it. So I was like, I'm done now.
She wanted the finished object.
And actually, I did use it a lot on my lap. It actually has a little hole in it now. I think it got caught on something.
Aww.
Maybe it probably got caught on my wheelchair when I was using it at work. When I would get chilly, because that was before I was getting a lot of the really bad hot flashes. So I would get chilly on my lap.
Right.
But I think I tore it on my wheel. It's not like a big tear; it's just a little one. And that was like it wasn't a mitered square. It was a log cabin. So it's like you start off with a square in the middle. Yeah, it was log cabin.
Okay.
Yeah, I started before Kate released this.
Okay,
one
gotcha.
On Patreon.
'cause I've done the
I don't
log-
even know who did. I think you started a log cabin, and I started after you started it.
I did a log cabin crocheted.
Yeah, I did log cabin knit. I started with the square in the center, and then you pick up stitches across the top, and you knit until you decide it's thick enough.
Right.
Then you pick up the other side, and you do one side of the
side at a
square,
time.
and then you just keep going around.
It's like a
and-
spiral.
Right, and it's always, each side is only one color, and you just keep going. It ends up being square. And I think I liked the width, but I didn't want it any wider.
Right.
And also, I wanted it.
I was going to get squares. It was going to continue square.
Right, it's going to continue square, and it ceased to be fun because I kept needing more and more yarn.
Right.
Because that is what happens with that, is
Right.
you can't just use scrappy scraps. Toward the end, you're going to need
Skeins.
bigger skeins, just because the stretches end up being so long.
I know Anastasia Zattel, the one who I do my scrap shawl for, she, I tested for her, I believe, and I have it hanging over there, kind of a half log cabin. So it becomes more elongated.
I think it was called half log cabin.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I might have liked something like that better because it would have ended up lengthening. I can't remember what pattern I did mine off of. But it worked better as a little lap thing. And I actually used to sometimes put it on my lap in the car when I was driving.
And it might be good for a receiving blanket or something.
It's really good as a wheelchair blanket.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's because sometimes when you're sitting in a wheelchair, because you aren't moving as much, you get a little chilly. Your arms get tired. You might get hot while you're doing that. Because I when I was using one, I still use it if I have to go, like, to an extended long thing. If I was to go in a store or something, I probably would still bring it with me. Because I get tired very easily. But I chose to do a manual one because I didn't want to completely decompensate.
Have your muscles atrophy.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure where I was going with that. So I would get warm if I was doing that.
Somewhere with your non-existent wheelchair. Whoosh, whoosh. Are we racing?
I did have a wheelchair race one time at work when Sammy
We're not
pushed
going
me
to talk
down
about
the hall.
that. We're not going to talk about
That was before I realized I
Surgery.
had spinal surgery.
She got mad. I got mad at her.
Well, I probably shouldn't have done that because I could feel my head go like
yeah.
that. So it was really a dumb idea for
And
someone
she-
who possibly had and did having spinal instability.
She is, that lady is
Oh, she's so
fantastic.
sweet. And
She's-
people were turning and looking like, what are they doing?
Because they never grew up.
Because, that's not maybe the most appropriate thing when you're working in a
Professional setting.
Well, I was working at that time as a nurse as in a outpatient psychiatric facility. So it wasn't like we had people living there or whatever. People would come in, have their appointment with their doctor, maybe get meds or an injection from me, and then they would leave. And until I got to the point where I decompensated, I couldn't do that anymore. It was a lot of fun, and I had some great coworkers there.
Yeah, oh, she had wonderful coworkers. They didn't want her to leave.
I had some of the best people.
Yeah, they didn't want her to leave. In fact, that's where Davina gets some of her stuff from now. She sees one of Taya's coworkers.
Former coworkers. And the lady actually calls sometimes just to talk to me.
Yeah.
Just because.
So it was a fabulous situation over there. They just couldn't. It was not feasible after a while.
Right.
So, yeah.
But that was when I found that I used that blanket a lot, was when I was sitting at my desk before I got to the point where I was overheating a lot and needed a fan more than I did a blanket.
I think we're going to have to rein in on this so we can go to the next project or show
I
the
actually need
project.
to show the project.
That might be a good idea.
So
There
this
actually is a project, not just an imaginary wheelchair. It's actually a project.
And this wouldn't work on my imaginary wheelchair or my real wheelchair. So, I keep the current ball of yarn I'm working on for the Miter Square blankets in a bag that I had traded with Mom for. I already had a Silver Shed USA Avengers bag, but I won a small one. And Mom had this...
Which I won.
Yes, she had won from the same person, actually, Laura. This Snoopy Fall Leaves bag. And orange is one of my colors. I like reds, oranges, and yellows. I mean, I like other colors, but those are my favorites. I love the flame colors. So I immediately was attracted to this, and I was like, you want to trade?
Because I like blues, greens,
And
reds.
the Avengers bag was blue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's up there.
So she got my small bag, and I traded for this one. And I think I was just really attracted. I don't think you ever really used it that much because it really wasn't your...
I used it a little bit. You know, I have my...
It was practically new when I got it.
I have my small, my really small, like almost spool size looms in my, I think that's what I have in my current Avenger bag.
Right. Whereas this size, I do make sometimes things that are small enough for a really small bag.
And when I was
like bookmarks.
When I was walking and not wearing a lot of things with pockets, I would put my cell phone in there and just have that and my keys hanging.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And we do use our our knitting bags creatively. We will use them for other things. I carry meds in mine.
I have Davina's meds in one.
This was a Plover Bird bag. This carries my daily medications, so I always have my medicines with me.
My first Turbo Knitter bag, the Mickey Mouse one, I think that was my first one from him. I got 2 Mickey Mouse bags from him. Carries Davina's meds.
So there's a bunch of creative uses for our bags, and we make great use of them. So if we have like 20 million one bags, don't worry, they'll get used.
Yeah, then we'll figure out something for
And
them.
I tend to make like 20 million one different projects anyway. I think one of our new members is like, oh, I'm so glad you make as many projects as I do.
We both make a ton of projects. My husband's like, why don't you finish one? Because I want to start that one.
This was the last Ploverbird bag I ever got. Ploverbird, before we started doing Silver Shed USA, Ploverbird was my favorite bag. She stopped making bags, and a little after we discovered Silver Shed USA.
Our favorite bags, first we started out with Knitting's My Bag, who no longer makes bags.
Yeah.
And then we found Ploverbird, and she became our favorite. And
But I ended up going to Ploverbird before Knitting's My Bag stopped.
I did too, predominantly because she was so busy, she couldn't always fill the orders.
And also I just tended to like Ploverbird's bags a little better personally.
Yeah.
She tended to get fabric I liked.
Yeah.
And also, I really liked interacting with her. We're still friends with her on Instagram.
Yeah, she's a nice guy. She's a nice lady.
Did you just call her a nice guy?
Guy, yes.
Although, apparently, one of the lectures I listened to in great courses on language says that there might be a transition eventually where guy will become...
generic.
Generic. Gender, not gender specific.
Gender neutral.
Yeah, because you already are seeing some of that.
Well, you see a lot of it. Like, we come on here and say, hey, guys, how you doing?
Exactly. So... Eventually, that shift is going to be made where if you say she's a good guy, it won't be weird. But right now, it still kind of is.
I mean, right? I mean, a lot of us podcasters say, "Hey, ladies, how you doing?"
Well, we do. We know we have some guys that watch.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was the last bag I picked up from Ploverbird. This is the Kissing Bunnies bag, and this was even before I realized how much I liked bunnies. I just really liked the bag. I think I was just starting to realize how much I liked bunnies.
Well, we had a progression in things that we liked.
Because this was still when I was knitting a lot of sweaters, because I wanted a sweater size bag. And this was one of her few ones that she offered us. This size was her... She developed this right toward the end, but this is her sweater size bag. And she had this available in sweater size. Because I'm not really a pink person, but I loved the
Bags
bunnies.
are adorable.
And it was a sweater size.
Okay.
So the actual project. Yes, I know. I have... after I finish this square, which I'm almost done with, I have 3 squares and I'm done.
Oh, great.
And it's definitely long enough because I sleep with this every night I get really overheated at night. My feet get really hot, so I sleep on top of my bed, and this is the only layer I have. I finished Captain America, which was my mom's yarns. This one was just a random one. I think someone gave me this light blue. It's hard to remember what someone gave me and what I picked up at the Fiber Festival.
Right.
This is actually Booyakasha.
All right. Mm-hmm.
I changed out one of the ones I was going to have in here because I was like, I need to have Booyakasha because I'm going to use this blanket a lot.
That's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reference.
Yeah. And then this is Lemonade Stands. It's Rainbow something or other. I used it in a hat for Davina recently. Mm-hmm. So then I have 3 others to do, and then I'm done. Then it's weaving in 20 million and one ends because I was too lazy to do it at the time. This will be a good thing, like actually something to do during the podcast.
It'll be relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is something I could do easily during the podcast or something like that. I wouldn't necessarily want to use normal knitting time for it. Mm-hmm. But if I'm podcasting during the HFI meeting, that kind of thing, if this was done, this won't be done by the HFI meeting.
I like this.
I can't remember who dyed this. Now this has 2 yarns in it because I ran out.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see it up here. Mm-hmm. That looks awesome.
I can't remember who dyed that.
I was wondering if that was Marigold Jen.
I really can't remember.
It looks kind of pale for her, but
I think this was a skein somebody gave me. Okay. I don't think I used that in something. Because I've gotten a lot of donations for skeins where people be like, well, I have this left over, and they'd send me skeins. So I have a bunch of mini skeins where I don't actually know what it is. This is one I actually purchased. But I'm trying to find another one where I think I actually own this one. Like this one, I don't think this is something I actually... It might have been, but I don't think so. Like there's plenty that I don't... This was one that ones that I picked up at the Fiber Festival. I really liked the way hers worked up. This is one of yours. Mm-hmm. This one I think is one that someone gave me. I love this particular skein. I still have a fair amount of it left. I think Laura gave me this one.
I think this one I don't do anymore.
No, I think this was Kool-Aid dye.
Yeah.
Or it was a very early one. So, yeah, I really am very happy this is almost done. I actually didn't think I'd finish it, like...
Ever?
Ever, yeah. I think this is Loki down here. No, it's not.
No, that's not Loki. This is Loki.
That's right, that's Loki. They're similar, but you're right, this one's Loki. I love Loki. I used Loki in a stethoscope cozy that I made because I kept breaking my stethoscopes. They would get cracks along because of the oil in your neck, and they're constantly worn over the neck. Especially, I worked ICU, so I was constantly going from different rooms, and I always needed my stethoscope in case someone just sounded like I need to be listened to. So I kept breaking stethoscopes. And it gets really expensive because I had a cardiologist 3, I think, or master cardiology stethoscope. Yeah. Anyway, the stethoscope cozy protects it from the oils in your neck and makes it stay supple.
Yeah, someone was saying they were, I think it was Patty was saying that her daughter must maybe go into nursing.
And I do have a basic pattern written. I actually need to release that. Yeah. I have a basic pattern written for stethoscope cozy that I had created for my stethoscope
let
cozies.
Her test it then.
I should let you test.
Let her test it.
Yeah, Patty. Yeah. Remind me. I did write one. I just never released it because then life happened. I got sick, and I stopped writing patterns for a while.
We need to move on.
Yes. So there is a stethoscope cozy pattern. Patty, remind me that I said something to you because I will forget.
She will. Yep.
So
I have to do some more Loki.
Anyone who has nursing friends, that's a very good gift, especially if you explain them. I gave one of my friends who was a traveling nurse one that I made for her because of that issue I had. So when she left to go to her next travel assignment, sweetest girl ever. Okay, so I have one more project to show.
I have projects, I promise.
Yes, well, this makes up for all the time you have to talk by yourself.
Uh-huh.
We were just talking about this bag.
Yep.
Silvershed USA Avengers bag.
But mine's a little one.
Yes, this is the bigger one. Mine has red on the inside. I think yours actually has blue on the inside.
It might.
Because I chose
looks like
the
zipper
inside.
is blue, so yeah.
So this is something you guys haven't seen in a while. Actually, the Christmas fairies is what made me pull this out and work on it. This is Scarlet, a.k.a. Mom's Red Horsey.
Yay!
This is the Sparkle the Unipony pattern by me. It's a unicorn, but I call it a unipony because Sparkle insisted that she's a unipony, not a unicorn. This mom had a red
Pony.
horsey crocheted by a family member, great aunt, when she was a child, and it was red with a white mane. And she never has been able to figure out what happened to it. So I always told myself, I'm gonna make Mom her own red horsey again. So there's the head. So this won't have the unicorn horn. There, I put all the other pieces in here so I don't lose them.
Yeah, I do that when I do my stuff.
This is the upper body. And I also, Sue had asked me to redo the tutorial video because it was hard to see.
Oh, okay.
So that was the other reason why I started this. So, 20 million years later, I'm going to be updating that tutorial video. So that's upper body. This is the muzzle. These are the ears. This was probably my second or third year of designing. It's weird that I can actually say that.
Yep.
Because I took a year or two long break. And the last piece that I'm currently working on, this is the lower body, so I have quite a bit more crocheting. It's just going to be round, 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 round until it's long enough. And then I just have legs and then piecing together. And then the one thing that does take a little while is the tail.
Yes.
And the mane.
Yes.
But if you want, I'm not pulling.
No, don't pull Senna out.
Senna has a bunch of toys sitting on him.
Yeah.
I should have planned ahead and eventually I'll show you guys what the finished one is. Or I'll just show you this finished one.
Yep.
Aha! Whoa!
Will probably be my Christmas gift.
Sorry, that was funny.
It didn't say Christmas in July.
This is the first crochet project that I've worked on since surgery. Because crochet requires a little more looking for me than knitting does. I can knit and not look. And so I tend to split stitches more with crochet too.
Right.
So I hadn't been doing it in a while. Even though, for those of you who are new, I actually started out as a crocheter.
We both did.
And that's why all my designs, I think my first 20-some designs are crochet toy patterns.
Except for the Duke.
Except for the Duke. So.
Okay. In my large blue Universal Studios bag is my Ninja Turtle baby blanket from the Ninja Turtle baby blanket pattern by Lisa Vanilla on Lovecrafts. And I didn't do a whole lot on this, I don't think. I can't remember that far back.
Oopsie, it's a bunny.
It's bunny. I don't have any tea.
You finished it already? This tea is so good. It's so bad that you don't have any left.
I think I did maybe 2.5 rows or 1.5 rows or something like this. It is growing. And for those of you who are new, this is based on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which means there are 4 turtle brothers. The blue mask is Leonardo. The red is Raphael. The next color is purple for Donatello. And the last one is orange for Michelangelo. They're all named after painters, in case you're not familiar. And then when that's done, when I get all the stripes, I will put the eyes on it. That will be 8 eyes I have to put on here.
And it's not like safety eyes.
No. It's crocheted eyes.
Yeah.
So this is a baby blanket or a child's blanket.
Because safety eyes, I actually don't feel like they're terribly safe.
I prefer the type that Talia does, or the type Stacy Trock does, or the embroidered, because it's hard to get the eyes on. Yeah, it's hard to get the eyes on, and they don't always stay on.
I've had so many toys where the safety eyes fell out. That's actually part of why I designed. You can see on my toy where the eyes are crocheted into the pattern. It's actually fairly unique to me, I think.
I actually I gave Talia something I crocheted for. It was a scarf, a snake scarf with the eyes, and she lost one of the eyes. I don't have the hand strength to get it on enough. I have some arthritis going on, so getting the hand strength to do that, sometimes my husband will do it for me, or sometimes Talia will do it for me.
And heaven forbid you place it wrong.
Yeah, then you have to take it out and you can't get it off.
Yeah.
So this is all Brava Sport, And
So we might be kind of biased against it. I don't mind button eyes for like a certain kind of pattern.
Teddy bears.
I think, do I have button eyes on my big, I think I have button eyes on my big red bunny that I made that was a Pearl Soho pattern.
Yes. Some of them lend themselves to button eyes, like the teddy bears that have the limbs that move and they have like little seams and stuff. Miss World's Autism Bunny would be cute with buttons, except you know, if you wanted to do that, because it's got little stitches. Doesn't it have like little seams of stitches? I can't remember.
But I can't remember. I was trying to see. I know I had another bunny that I either just stitched. Oh, it might be your little one that's a buddy to the. I stitched those eyes. Okay. I made a couple little bunnies for Taurus vs. Hair last year. I kind of went on.
Oh, it's right there. Yeah.
Yeah, the one I made to go with your little turtle. I did stitched eyes. I couldn't remember if I'd done button eyes or stitched eyes for it.
And you know, I do like the way they look.
Oh, they look adorable.
It's just hard for me to use them, and I'm afraid if it's for a small child, that if it does fall off, they might swallow it.
Yeah.
So I don't like to use those. But anyway, that's this. I hope to get this finished in the near future, maybe. Ha ha ha.
Okay, I think this might be my last time of 2.
Now I'm hot again. I'm cold again.
I'm really glad I have this on because I think I'd be overheating otherwise because I feel a little warm.
There.
But, okay,
I was really hot a minute ago. Now I'm cold. It's just... Okay.
In my Silver Shed USA Oops is a Bunny bag with the artwork that was done by Davina, is...
For those of you who are new,
Right.
Davina is my older daughter, and she has Asperger's syndrome. She lives with us, and she is very artistically inclined.
There we go. That's what the artwork looks like for those of you who are new. And maybe for people who aren't new, who I just tend to go, oh yeah, here it is, and just keep going.
Yeah.
This is the Fair Isle Fisherman's Kept by Anne Sinclair. There's a group on Facebook called the Fair Isle Fisherman's Kept Knit Along, and they only do this particular pattern, and they have variations, you know, where you might change out some of the charts and things like that, but the recipe is this pattern. And the proceeds from the base pattern that you purchase go to their museum on the Fair Isle.
Very cool.
They got an observatory up, and that for birds, or they're getting an observatory up for birds.
An observatory or aviary?
I don't know.
Are they actually looking? Are they enclosed or? Are they
I think they're actually looking at birds.
Huh. Very cool.
I think that's what they said.
Well, I know we have a viewer who knows about this.
Yeah.
I forget who it is.
It's
she's in Scotland.
Ouija woman.
Yeah, if you can give us the information again, because you know that we're
forgetful.
Yeah, she's been with us for a while. She knows this.
So, yes, that's what this goes for. Sweetest group ever. They've been nothing but a joy. But I was at the point where I kept up with the current cycle of, actually they're done this weekend, current cycle of Cal, where I was at the decreases with everybody else, but I didn't like the way my colors worked. If you guys remember from 2 episodes ago, the bottom part is my colors, like red and orange and yellow with the black. And the top part, I started moving into pink and blue with this bright yellow. And it just looked like I took a hat for myself, snagged a hat for Davina, and like spliced them together.
Because they have totally different palettes.
We have totally different palettes. Davina's a lot paler than I am. She runs almost blonde.
Almost.
Whereas, as obviously, I'm very dark.
My husband is blonde, his base, and her base is blonde, though she's darker than he is.
And people frequently ask me if I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
So, or Italian. Italian's a lot closer. Yarn ran away. So, yarn ran away again. Hang on, I need to corral my yarn.
It does not, in fact, run. It rolls.
You need to talk to my yarn. It
rolls.
Thinks it can run.
It rolls. Rolls Royce?
Rolling.
Boy, we're just full of references today.
Okay, so I tinked back to this red and black, like right before this section here with the black and yellow.
Is that black and yellow? Black and
I guess
orange?
black and...
I guess it just
black
looks...
and orange. It is orange.
It is orange? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm wearing... My sunglasses have a green tint to them to help with migraines. So I actually have trouble telling what colors things are. And sometimes I forget. So this is black and orange here. Hang on, let me move my stitch marker.
Is that orange and red or?
That is orange and red. And then for the same chart, I move into, actually I'm going to turn this so stitch marker gets out of my way. Then it's green and black. Well, first I went orange and red, then orange and a little bit of black going into the next part of the same chart. Then I did a little section with the green and black, and then I'm moving back into the, I just finished orange and black, and I'm about to head into the red and orange again to finish that big chart. So it'll look like it has, like down here you can see where I had a chart
Excuse me.
with the blue going through the center.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I wanted the same thing up here. It's going to be a little bit more stark here because there's not as much contrast between the blue, and the blue almost looks green next to, at least as far as I can tell
With
with
your
my
glasses, it does, but not without it.
Oh, okay, maybe it's just my glasses. But I'm a lot happier with this combination. I don't feel like it looks as drastic. I feel like it looks like it's still all one hat.
You could put this hat in the dysautonomia.
Yes, I could because of
Dysautonomia cardiac.
the red and
Orange and well, I guess orange
orange
is
isn't
not
a
really.
color.
Red, black, and blue.
Yeah. Now I like a lot of other people's colors better than I do mine. I think they made better color choices. I look at other people's colors and I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. I wish I chose some of that. Oh, that's so pretty. I have very bad color choices. Why is everyone else's color choices better than mine?
I like yours. I think it's pretty.
I think it's just like a grass is greener on the other side sort of thing.
Yes, yes.
So, this, I think I'm actually almost at the point that I was.
Right.
And I do one more, I think, and then I think it's 1-1. Okay. Oh, this is the last one I can show anyway.
Okay.
Although, did we decide if it was in testing that we could show it?
I don't know. That's your thing.
I
thought we were saying that. Why don't we just wait until we talk about that?
Yeah.
Because of Patreon stuff.
Yeah, let's just wait.
Yeah. So are you showing it?
No, this is not in testing.
Oh,
this
okay.
has been released.
Okay.
This got released.
Is that Davina's hat?
Yes, this got released yesterday. So, in my Star Knits R2 bag, because
R2 and BB-8.
nope, just R2.
Why does BB-8 have R2 on his head? A BB-8?
Because
R2?
R2 is crushing him.
No.
I'm not a BB-8 fan.
Well, they try. Well, we've already discussed BB-8 and
Yes.
R2
Uh-huh.
ad
R2.
nauseum. R2. No, that's something else. Joaquin.
So, this is the Davina hat. This is, the original one was knit in a variegated yarn. The Drama Queen 7 colorway, which was dyed for Davina. This here is some Miss Babs. This is the Electric Turquoise colorway.
Okay.
And I'm probably an inch or two away from needing to think about decreases.
Is she going to get that one too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she knows it.
Okay.
I think this is why I chose this color, because she doesn't necessarily have a lot in the light blue, and she wears a lot of this color.
She's definitely spring colors.
Yeah, this gives you a good idea of what Davina's colors are. This kind of blue,
Pinks.
pink,
yellows.
and like a bright, vibrant pink, like a Barbie pink.
Yeah. But she can do the pinks as regular. Almost all the pinks.
Right, but she tends towards the brighter pink.
I think sometimes the brighter pink is a little too much. I think she needs to do a medium / paler, but she's not a real blonde. So yeah, she could do the bright, almost fuchsia. Like she loves my neon cotton candy yarn because she's like, gee, I'd like a sweater in that color. I'm like, okay, find somebody to knit you a sweater in that color. But she's pretty fun.
Yeah, the brighter is, the happier she is.
Yeah.
Where'd my end go? Okay, there we go. So now it's your turn.
Okay, in my Silver Shed USA Owls bag, my Archimedes Owls bag, Davina's artwork again.
Hang on, let's bring that up close because some people might not have seen that. There
Now,
we go.
this one, when we did the tea talk, and you guys didn't hear about this because we had trouble with the mic.
Yeah, and that's a Patreon,
Yeah.
Patreon only thing, the tea talk. But
Right.
we totally messed it up this time. We're
learning.
getting things.
We're learning.
We're still new at this.
Yes, be patient with us. We are. I did put a little article, blog, not an article, just a little post.
Something to make up for. Yeah.
I didn't even realize what had happened when I was writing.
Yeah, I was so grateful that you had written something
Um,
because I was so foggy.
This is the shawl by Anastasia Sattel. I referenced Anastasia Sattel. She's the other one who was very, very supportive of us with George, okay? of our podcast at the very, very beginning. She donated projects, all kinds of stuff. I don't know if she's still designing, but I did see that her patterns are still in Ravelry. And this is, I think it's a $5 pattern, but the thing that's happening with this is I'm running out of yarn for this color. I'm not going to make it as long as I want to with this still being the main color. So I was talking to Talia about maybe, first of all, alternating these two, ripping back and alternating these two.
And I was like, no, that's not going to look good.
Well, you weren't at first until I said, why don't I just rip it back and just start with this one from the gold. So,
and I like that idea because I think
it'll look like a fade.
Right, it looks like someone did it on purpose, because sometimes people do change. You're having a different stripe just along the bottom.
So see, and it's not going to be just along the bottom.
But it's toward the bottom of it, you know.
So this will be.
Besides, if I don't mind, who cares?
I'm caught. There we go. All right. So you can see the gold is going to go into this color because I don't know what the other color is. And
she might not even dye it quite the same way.
She might not dye it the same way. So you got this going on. See?
And it's one of her more variegated colors.
And I'll have, I might have this as the last row if I think I can get away with edging it. Mm-hmm. Or I might not. In any event, if I don't, or if I have any left over, this will go to Talia for her blanket.
I'm really shocked that I had enough for my square with this one. I really didn't think I would.
So I will probably rip this back, and I'm going to have a fair amount of this left. I just hope I have enough of this to do my last stripe on this. So we'll see what happens there. It may just be a smaller stripe.
Right.
And it'll be fine.
Well, that pattern is supposed to be kind of scrappy.
This pattern is one of my favorite Anastasia's, and I did several tests for her. I think I tested this one as well.
I think you did. Because you were testing a lot for her at the beginning.
Yeah. She was my first person I tested for.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I've never tested before. She took a chance on me. Before my hands started bothering me. I really love this construction.
Isn't that a song from, what's them called? They did Mamma Mia.
ABBA.
ABBA. Didn't they have a song, Take a Chance on Me?
Yes. Yes, they did. So this is something
Davina likes ABBA a lot. She would know the tune like
you'll probably see this without this darker row.
There it is.
Next week, if I sit down and do this, I have to be careful not to lose my place for the, I'm going to have to mark these before I go, where I have the double stitches for my increases, so I don't lose it. Otherwise, I have to start all over again. If I do that, you're not going to get your shawl. So this is for Talia. There.
Do you remember this game, Mom?
That's mine?
Yep.
What's
this is newsprint. I don't think you dye it very often.
I have news. I have to see how I do that. It looks more purple than newsprint.
That's what the tag says is newsprint.
Okay, I have to see how I did that one. I think that might have been one where I tried to break it.
I'm not sure if you gave it to me for Christmas or what it was.
But that's a lot prettier than I remember it. I like that. It's a lot prettier. I think I was breaking a black on this.
I think you were experimenting.
Mm-hmm. I might not be able to make this. I have it down. I'll have to see if I can make it again.
But yeah, that's what that is. That's newsprint.
Yeah.
I had forgotten I had it until I was looking for skeins to finish up my blanket that I hadn't used before. And I actually haven't used that in anything right now. It's because I don't do a lot with variegated now.
Might make a nice hat.
It might, but Davina wouldn't wear it.
What
weight is
it? Looks like it might be a worsted.
It might be a worsted. Hold on.
Could be a DK as well.
Because you don't usually dye a lot of worsted. It's very soft. This is sport.
Oh, okay.
It's a little thicker than I would have thought the sport.
Well, this base tends to be a little thicker.
It's a very fluffy base.
Mm-hmm. I know people like my sport base and my DK base.
So, okay. Before I start that square, let me go ahead. Okay, so right now it's bags. Now, for those of you who are new to the podcast, because we do have quite a few new people, when I'm showing designs that I have in progress, I only show the bag. Mm-hmm. We just recently started a Patreon channel, like last week.
Snafus.
So, when we do our live streams for them, they get to see what's in the bag. But for the main podcast, we'll do as we have always done. which is we just go, here's a bag and here's the design. You guys will see it when it's out, kind of thing. So,
Teasing.
Yes, we tease. This is in I call this my Christmas stocking bag because that's what only that lives in here. I always have a Christmas stocking going. I kind of became obsessed with them last year.
We all have Christmas
Oh
stockings.
yeah, I have knit everyone in our immediate family here a Christmas stocking. And my dad absolutely loves it. He has them hanging all year round because he really loves color work.
They're on our mantle right now.
Along with the ornaments and designs.
And my Christmas stocking that I crocheted.
So, in my Silver Shed USA Peanuts Christmas bag is a Christmas stocking that you can't see. This is already in testing. This is the Christmas stocking. My grandpa's is already done. This is my grandma's. So the pattern is based off his. I just need to finish making hers. And I'm going to do a couple tutorial videos on the Patreon for a couple of skills that this pattern can teach you. That'll be just for Patreons. Because
But they'll have everything they need in the pattern.
oh well, yeah, because the pattern is meant for intermediate level. It says it on the pattern. So I'm not going to teach people how to do certain things because that is assumed knowledge. That's why it says intermediate and not easy. Because you have to assume some sort of knowledge at some point. But because just as sort of like, oh hey, you guys are Patreons. Guess what? You get some extra tutorials. It might push someone into
Learning
a new skill.
Oh, poop.
I think that was in your shawl pattern.
Yes.
I'm good. Yeah. So yes, that's what this is. On to you.
Okay. In my PHN Chameleons bag, and this, well, these we love our Silver Shed bags. This is my husband's artwork. Okay, Silver Shed USA bag. That's Ann Brody. If you want to check her out on Etsy. And this is my At the Bottom of the Hill scarf, and this is just something I'm doing from my head based on a pattern I saw in a magazine. I didn't see the directions. I just saw the pattern, and it wasn't a scarf. It was just something else.
It was a stitch pattern, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was something. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't a scarf. And so I'm still working on this. And this may, after I do this, my husband might get this because he likes it. But when I'm done with this, I may modify it somewhat and then make a pattern.
Well, it's a very masculine color.
Right. Well, this is James C. Brett, and I forget what the color is.
I think I used it.
I want to say stone or sandstorm.
No, this isn't the one that I used.
No,
in
that's
this.
something different.
I used that in something, I thought, but maybe
Well,
I
I
did.
think I got it from you.
Yeah, you did. I think I intended it to make something. Like, I think, you know what, I was going to make a ginormous teddy bear pattern.
Right.
Because you kept asking me, and I've been asked several times for a teddy bear design. And I had gotten that, intending that, and then I got sick and had to stop.
Right. So I had this as an MC9 or MC10 colorway. I don't know what that is because they don't label their colors all the time. So, but I do love James C. Brett. They're chunky. This is chunky, and they have a huge amount of yardage for a very reasonable amount of money. But I don't know if you can see, it's starting to, it looks like I did a color change. I did not.
It's this color.
It's very
Excuse
graded.
me, this yarn tends to change shades.
It's a gradating yarn. And
Yeah.
it is curling a little bit. That's one of the things I want to work on when I finish this. After I block it out. But when I finish, this is acrylic or is it wool? I think it's a blend, isn't it?
It's acrylic.
Okay.
It's purely acrylic, I'm pretty
so
sure.
it's going to curl for a little bit. But anyway,
because you can't block it.
Not unless you steam block it. And I don't want to do that. So this...
I mean, I have I picked up a small, way back when, I can't even remember.
I saw the iron, yeah.
The small iron, and that was what I intended it for.
Yeah.
It was for steam blocking.
And I may look up a tutorial if I can't live with it. But I like the way this is working out. It's very stretchy. It would be really good on a hat or something. Or a rib-type sweater or something.
Right.
So, yeah, that's that. I didn't work much on this. I think I worked on it toward the beginning of the week. I kind of lost my desire to do any knitting toward the end of the week. I just didn't want to do much.
Well,
Well, I think a lot of things that we can talk about maybe later, were making me like, I don't really want to do anything. So,
Excuse me, guys.
and that doesn't usually happen to me, but every once in a while it does.
I have had a weirdly productive week, considering the fact that I've actually been fairly symptomatic.
Apparently, I need to aspirate my stuff as well.
Yay! Neither of us know how to drink. Yay!
Need our baby bottles.
I don't think a baby bottle is going to help us if we decide to breathe at the same time. The baby bottle doesn't stop your breathing.
Go ahead. Your turn.
Okay, so I think all this talk of like Christmassy stuff with the Christmas in July has made me want to start working on some of my Christmas things. I'd already worked on the Christmas stocking prior to us being invited to that, but it made me pull out to work on a Christmas ornament pattern that I've just sort of had off to the side. I had designed it, started knitting on it, and then I was just like, meh, and went to something else. Something else, some other shiny thing caught my attention. Yep. I think it was the mitts.
We have serious project ADD here.
I think it was the lady's favor.
Yeah.
That caught my attention, and then like this got shoved.
I wish we had to talk about that too before the podcast ends.
So, this bag was given to us by an amazing PHNer, B-Wing, Brittany. I kept saying podcast after podcast, you know, eventually I'm going to get myself a Christmassy bag just for my ornaments, because I always have an ornament going and I always have a Christmas stocking going. And I think I said this like week after week, month after month, and I just kept repeating it because I think I was trying to remind myself so I wouldn't forget. And she surprised me one day. This was just the sweetest gift ever. It's another Silver Shed USA, and it's perfect size for an ornament. So this is really my ornament bag.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
Literally, yes.
It's not just the pictures.
Yes. So that's what's in here is a Christmas ornament. And I usually have somewhere a Christmas ornament going in this bag, whether or not it's a new design or not, because I tend to like repeating particularly my Silent Night one, because I really love the way that one turned out.
Good. Especially with blue and silver.
I really love it, the blue and silver. Although it turned out really well with the green, and I think it was a green and silver or green and white. I have a blue and silver one too. I think I did with sparkle.
I steal all her blue and silver stuff.
I only gave you one.
I steal.
Because you tried to wind your way into getting the second one. I'm like, no, you can't. You already have one. You don't need another one.
But I want it, precious.
That was when I realized I really liked the combination for Christmas ornaments for the blue and white, blue and silver, because it's just stunning. But yeah.
How many do you have left?
Trace?
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay, so do I. All right. In my Silver Shed USA, what a surprise, bag. This is my Star Wars at bag. This is my Pesty Westy baby blanket. And can I show this now?
Is that
The Migraine.
No.
Okay.
Because it's in testing.
This is in testing, so you can't see it. Sorry. I can't show you the color of the yarn, though. This is Taya's pattern. And this is the color I'm using. I love this color. It's so pretty.
It looks like I need to have one more stitch.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. So, in my... This one. In my Ravelry tote bag that I'd actually gotten for fiber festivals, I ran out of project bags of an appropriate size. Although actually I'm running out of project bags, period. Because I have a ton of project bags. I just also have a ton of projects that are like glaring at me being like, hey, what happened here? Am I not cool anymore?
Not cool.
So this is holding the baby blanket that's currently in testing. I heard from a bunch of people who said they got the pattern already. So thank you. I know I owe a couple people responses. As well as to the other people who are testing for me who said they got their pattern.
So you can't show it?
No, I can't show it. This is the second one in the second size. Because I always make the initial pattern, the initial baby blanket for the pattern in the smallest size for the pictures and everything. And I really loved the pictures I got for this
Perks
time
of
around.
being a co-host.
Yes. I really love the pictures I got for this one this time around. They just turned out really well. But yeah, this is that baby blanket pattern. I tend to work on this when I have too bad of a headache, or I don't want to look at my knitting for whatever reason. You know, I can't focus, whatever. This is my go-to, can't focus, don't want to look, whatever project. That's what I designed it for.
Excellent mundo.
So,
Okay, my next one is in my Kikiboo Holiday Owls bag, because yes, this is the animal that I didn't realize how much I liked.
mm-hmm.
Because my college mascot was an owl, and I didn't understand why that was a mascot. And
You don't have any owl bags.
I don't have any owl bags, not at all. Nope.
Yeah, she forgot that she had owl bags.
I have owl
in the
bags.
excitement of wanting another owl bag, she tried to convince me at a Fiverr festival that she had none.
I didn't have any owl bags.
She completely forgot all her owl
Completely
bags.
blanked it out.
She was like, I don't have any. I'm like, yeah, haha, Mom. That's so funny.
She thought I was kidding.
But because it was such a ridiculous statement.
I completely forgot.
Like, she completely blotted out
Who was
all
that?
memory
Who
of
was that?
Oh, it was Tara?
Tara. Yeah.
She's such a sweetheart.
Such a sweetheart. She just laughed. And she will work with you like, okay, I need to get this. You need to wait until someone...
And her colors, like, the first time we saw her, she could colors. The second time, she's, like, getting better and better.
She does yarn.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And bags.
And bags. Yeah,
Yeah.
she does both. Because it's the other lady that we really like who's tempting you.
Yeah.
So there were 2 people that came away from the festival really liking. And 2 that went away, unfortunately. So... but anyway, this is, sorry guys, owl bags. Owls. I love owls. In case you didn't know.
Ow.
So, this is my cherry, oh no, I'm sorry, this is my apple red preemie hat. It's a loom knit hat, it's a little preemie
You
hat.
just stopped me from trying to figure out how to sing Cherry Bomb that,
I was cherry bomb, yeah. But anyway, so I did a bit of progress on this. I did see on the last podcast when I was looking to make sure everything was okay and all, that this has grown quite a bit. So I don't think I have too much more to do because I kept doing it super long. I realized, I don't have to do it that long for preemie hats.
You
So-
should look up, because I actually Google sometimes.
I did.
Good, because that's how I figure out what size my baby blanks are, and how I figure out what size this needed to be, is I'll Google what are the average sizes.
This was in the loom knit book for...
That's good too.
Yeah,
As
so-
long as you find a list somewhere, because a lot of crocheting and knitting sites will post
Right.
what recommended sizes are, and then you can adjust based on that. But it's really good to have that basis,
Right.
because that's what I based all my sizes on.
So this is moving along, and it's taking me, an inordinate amount of time to do it. Usually I can do like 1 or 2 of these. I can do 1 a day if I really sit down, these small ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I just...
Well, when you have Project ADD, you can't do 1 a day.
And we have, stuff with family, health and whatever. You think with quarantine you don't have anything to do? Wrong. Wrong. No, we don't go anywhere, but still wrong. I have a ton of things to do, and I still can't find time to do all the things I want to do. But anyway,
Sounds like poor time management to me.
sounds like having people who need a lot.
I feel targeted.
Can't help what you feel. Not my issue. Not my problem.
This is not the one I wanted to show first. This is the one.
And once again, it's all about you. Do you know where that's from?
I know, but I can't pull it up.
It's a geek thing. And I may be slightly misquoting.
I think you're slightly misquoting it. I think I know where it's from, though.
Yeah.
I have an idea of where it's from, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
It's been years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm also mixing it up with a quote where he goes, "It's all me, isn't he?"
Oh, that's something different.
That's something different.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm mixing up with another quote.
It's all me about him, isn't it?
So in my Silvershed USA Tortoise versus Hare bag, this was our first one, I think. Did she put the year on this one? No, she didn't put the year on this one.
I think that's the first one, maybe.
This is the very first Tortoise versus Hare bag.
because it has both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the bad side, and this is the good side.
This is the hero. That's the villain.
Villain.
No.
Hero.
There's no owl, so it's a toss-up.
So, I love my bunnies. And Anne has always been very good about making us these bags.
Yeah, we just say, hey, we want this, and then we say, we give her the pictures or the drawings or whatever, and she runs with it. And if I say something to her like, oh, that looks good, but can you do it this way. She does it. She's perfect. I love Anne.
Yes.
And, if I didn't have so many bags already, I'd still be buying bags. And I will still buy bags.
If something really strikes your fancy.
Yeah. Okay. My last
But
one,
that's a design in that bag that I can't show you.
Yep. My last bag, this is my Tortoise versus Hare, and I think this is 2017 turtle bag. Yes. Is my, another Anne Brodie bag, of course, is my Roaring Twenties hat from the Flip Top Beanie pattern by Brianna. And I only did a little bit on this. It did grow a little, but I only did a little on here. And the yarn is, I think this is Encore. Yeah, Encore yarn. I don't have the tag, but it's the same as the other one that I'm using for contrast. And it's a worsted weight. So,
well, most of the acrylics that seem to be a worsted or a, I mean, at least the ones that you get in like Walmart or whatever, they seem to be either a worsted or a lot of them seem to be an Aran. It's usually closer to an Aran.
if it's like Walmart, if you go to Hobby Lobby, you get all the different.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're just going to Walmart and you're picking something off the shelf that's Red Heart or something, or even some line brands, it tends to be that heavier weight.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I think when people start out, they're doing blankets and stuff or scarves,
Right.
and that's a perfect
Right.
weight to get started.
And I think
on.
they do, I think those brands do carry you, right?
Yeah, I just got a sharp pain. I probably should put my
Okay.
brace
Brace.
pretty soon.
Go ahead, put it on.
If it happens again, I'll put it on.
If I'm sure they carry things in the other weights. It's just that I haven't really seen much of it in like a local Walmart. Mm-hmm. So that's this, and that takes care of me for whips.
Okay, so I have one more. This is in my Fun in the Woman Cave bag, and we couldn't find Fun last time. I'm still not sure where he's at.
He might be kind of caught between the wall and the couch.
Yeah, that's my
He's a
chameleon design.
He's very small.
Yeah. And that he was my first kit with somebody. It was Silver Shed USA who put together the bag for us. This is actually
It wasn't
Dad's
your
art.
first kit. It was our first in-house kit. You did
Oh,
it with
you're-
Heidi.
Yeah, this is my first.
No,
This one.
This is not
Oh,
with
this
Heidi.
was. You're right. This is the one that was the first kit was
with Heidi.
Cyrano. You're
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
I'm mixing up my kits. This is my second kit. The first one that I did with Mom is a collaboration. My dad did the artwork for the bag. It says Flynn in the Woman Cave, one of our PHNers. Oh,
I
we've
miss
been doing
her.
it 5 years at that point. See, 5.
Yep, 5 years at that point.
And
So about three or four, 3.5 years ago.
yeah. So okay, I do need to put the brace on. I keep being this sharp.
Okay.
Oh, pain.
Okay, so this, Mike did the artwork. The Fun in the Woman Cave. The lady who did this, she used to come up with all these really interesting things. I miss her a lot. I wish she would come join us again. I know that
Life doesn't always allow.
she has a lot of things going on. She was going for some kind of master in knitting or something.
It's called a master knitting course.
Yeah.
And it's pretty intense from what I gather.
Yeah.
And
So-
also, new people don't always want to deal with different multiple forums, which I can get. You
Yeah.
want to keep all your stuff in one place.
So
There we go.
okay, so here you go. But she came up with the Fun in the Woman Cave.
Yeah. But excuse me. So yeah, she would say, well, it's Fun in the Woman Cage because of her PHN, Panic and Needle. So we've used that ever since because we loved that.
Yeah.
But this has the design in it as well that I can't show you.
Okay, so moving on out of the whips. We don't have any FO. Oh, yes, you do have
I
an
do
FO.
have one. Let me just count really quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Yay!
Ha ha ha. I'm missing the thunder and the lightning.
A little
Ha,
bit
ha,
of
ha.
thunder.
A little bit of lightning. But that's not what I'm talking about. It's when a certain person counts. He gets thunder and not necessarily lightning, but he gets
He does?
the count does, yeah.
You gotta remember, Mom, I didn't watch very much of that.
Yeah, because I stopped letting you watch
I watched more Reading Rainbow than anything else.
Mr. Rogers.
You see, I don't remember Mr. Rogers.
But you
I
did.
only remember
But you did.
Reading Rainbow. I remember Reading Rainbow and all your cooking shows.
Yes, and we did Mr. Rogers as well.
Mr. Rogers didn't make a huge impression on me, whereas LeVar Burton made a huge impression on me. It's like, that's, as young as I was, for me, I remembered LeVar Burton. And I remember that she said he was in Star Trek. Even at that young age, I was like, ooh.
I would have her watch Reading Rainbow and Mr. Rogers And then I would, when I was doing my workout or whatever, a lot of times it would be after my workout, we'd watch like things like Yan Can Cook or the
Frugal Gourmet.
or what was the other one? I Guarantee. He was a Cajun cook. We used to watch that or do the travel logs, and we'd have popcorn, and I'd have iced tea and she had Kool-Aid. Because Davina was at school. She was in, we hadn't started homeschooling yet. She was in kindergarten. So
Right, because Davina is 2 years older than me.
No, she's 20 months.
That's
20 months.
basically...
Moving on.
That's
20
2
months.
years
I'm
older,
right,
guys.
you're wrong.
You
Okay.
gotta, that
No.
4 months doesn't make that much of a difference.
No.
Anyway, this is a finished object. Unfortunately, the pattern is only available to patrons, but I didn't want to hide a finished object from you guys because I always show you guys my finished objects. So,
Now, this is the same yarn that's in her blanket. That's Booyakasha.
yeah, this is, so like I said, patrons only pattern, but guys, it's pretty and I want to share so you get to see. So yeah, this is Booyakasha, which is in my blanket as
Getting
well.
caught on her watch there.
Yeah.
I like what you can do with this because
There we go. So I love the fits.
you can fold it down, which is, you can have it down here when you don't have to worry so much about finger movement.
Right when I want to knit, because that's always something that bothers me, fingerless mitts, but sometimes my wrists get cold if nothing else is cold. So, yes, I'm really happy with this design. I put this out this week for Patreons. But, yeah, this isn't meant to be a tease. I just wanted to share with you guys, because I share all my finished objects
And
with you guys.
we will share things with you regardless.
Yeah.
Most of them will be available.
Right. They just won't be the Patreons, or the members of the Patrons Cafe will might get them for free for certain patterns, not all of them. Whereas other people will get it in the shop and have to buy it as normal. So most of them are not going to be patrons only because it's difficult for me not to share.
Yep.
Because you guys are awesome. Okay. So that's my finished object.
Okay. All right, moving on
pulling my
to
shirt
what?
We usually go on to Stash Enhancement, and then we go on to Reading, Watching, and then Shop News.
Okay, Stash Enhancement. We had, right after the podcast, I think,
Yeah, I think it pretty much was right after the
we
podcast.
got this ginormous box from one of our viewers. Heather, I can't remember the numbers after her name, 295 or something like that, I think it is, isn't it?
24601?
I don't know what her I'm sorry, Heather. Heather, she comments often. She comments often on our YouTube channel, and she sent us this ginormous box. Stop.
I love that musical.
Not while I'm talking, you don't.
I don't love it because you're talking.
Anyway,
how does that work?
this was sent by her. She contacted me and said I have all this stuff for charity that she had made, and let's see if we can get this opened. See, here, we have to get up and get some scissors.
I'll be get up and get the scissors, and I'll try to see what I can do to help move things along.
Okay.
Apparently, I can't do very much. It does not wish to come up.
I don't want to cut anything.
Right, because she has it really packed.
She wrote me an email and said, yeah, I got, ooh, I don't want to get dye on there either. It's dry. I don't know how I got that on there. All right.
Were you cutting your yarn?
No. Not when it was wet. But this reminds me of when I told Crystal to be careful when she was cutting her thing, because I didn't want to, I said that the thing I sent her wasn't liking scissors. But this is just packed full. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
What's this?
Wait, she has a note, Mom.
Oh,
It's an owl.
Look at
I think she
this.
made it too, Mom.
I think she did. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Oops.
Just want to read through quickly to make sure that there is no
And maybe
information.
some yarn. Let's see here.
Because we have to make sure that she doesn't give instructions for anything. 'Cause sometimes there are. Because some of the things in here might require a little bit of explanation.
Aw. I don't want to read this because Heather, it's a very nice letter. The yarn is for us, and we'll explain to you what she gave it to us for. Look!
No! Look at these!
Oh, I love them!
Look how cute!
Oh my gosh! These have to go in the intro during Tortoise versus Hare. Oh my gosh!
Oh, he's adorable!
How did you do that? It looks like some kind of foil stamping or something.
Look at that!
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, wow!
Look at that! Isn't that?
Oh, look at it! And he's so stinking cute.
Mine doesn't stink. He's adorable. Just flat out.
Oh.
I love it. Oh, thank you so much. We'll have to find a time when we do this at the beginning of the podcast or something, having this for Tortoise versus Hare.
That could be charted.
They both could be.
He's a little more difficult.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Thank you so much,
Thank
Heather.
you so
this
much.
is the yarn, and we will discuss who gets what a little later. We will show you in acquisitions tomorrow when we figure out exactly who gets what. But
and then tomorrow, we mean for the patrons, we do a live stream. Wait, not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. I meant by the next podcast.
Yeah.
Look at these onesies she sent. I think she did some stenciling on them. Look at the bow tie. I don't want to take them all out because they fit in here beautifully.
It makes me think of almost like a little sailor type thing.
It does. Oh no! You know what it reminds me of? A waiter.
Oh, but usually they have a black coat on or something.
Well, they're not a black coat. It's his shirt and his tie and his buttons. I love this.
It's adorable.
It's adorable. So she sent us several of these onesies. And then look at all the... oh my gosh. I don't want to take these out. I just want to show you the way they are.
Because she did that vacuum.
She's got these so beautifully packaged.
I think it's vacuumed. Oh no, she just really did a good job.
She's got these... There's got to be... They're like 4 or 5 deep. So there's about 20 or 25 in this bag.
Wow.
Look at this.
That's
I don't want to
amazing.
take them out because I'm afraid I won't get them in as neatly.
Right.
And they're just beautiful.
And it will definitely be easier to store this big.
Look at this. Look at these.
Oh,
I mean,
we have
the
to find
generosity.
Well, that one's really... I thought it's really cute anyway, but I thought there was also lace on it. Like, it looked really...
I know that there's some glare on here, and I just don't want to risk ruining these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 20 in here.
And it'd be perfect just the way it is to go to the pregnancy center or to... That'll probably be pregnancy center, I would think.
1, 2, 3,
unless she
4, 5,
specifies.
6. There might be 24 in here, and there might be about 20 in here. So
I mean, we could even do half and half, like one going to...
We'll see.
I think it's best for the pregnancy center. We'll have to figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Because unless she specifies.
Unless she specifies, and I'll look at the note again and see. But this is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much. The hats and the little onesies, and these are 0 to 3 months, so I think these definitely go to pregnancy center.
Yeah.
So these are just
most
amazing.
of the time, if it's baby, we do send it pregnancy center.
And I think I don't want to open them. I don't know if they're all the same or if they're a little different. It doesn't really matter. The fact is that these are adorable. Mm-hmm. And I think she stenciled them. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it's stitched. So I think she might have done some kind of stenciling.
Yeah, it looks like.
I don't know exactly how that works, but
I don't either.
It's absolutely gorgeous, Heather. Your generosity is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you also for the yarn.
Thank you.
We will look at it more closely so we can see what it is you intended with it. Mm-hmm. And we thank you for our bunny and our turtle. Oh, my turtle.
I love my bunny so much.
I love my turtle. I might have to put a frame on this.
Mm-hmm. I don't want it to get damaged. I'm afraid it'll get damaged if I don't do like a frame or something.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Daddy if he has one downstairs. Isn't that precious? Love it. Very nice.
Oh.
I'm going to keep it in here for the moment. I'm gonna
Actually, could you put my bunny there too? Because I don't want to damage it. And it could easily get damaged in the process of being transferred back to my room.
Okay, so... Alright, so that takes
care
of that.
He's just too cute and too well done to be damaged.
I want my card to go somewhere. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
I would love to know how she does that. Isn't that beautiful?
That is very beautiful.
Okay, I guess we should stop now so they don't get upset with us.
Yeah. So
it's gorgeous. I am so happy with that. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much. That leads us on to reading/watching.
Okay. I am writing still to the shared story. I actually wrote something that was nonfiction to Patreons. It was very short, just a little post. And I've had some ideas for writing. Mm-hmm. But I haven't had a chance to really sit down and do it with all the stuff going on. Mm-hmm. reading, I finished Scoundrels and Pawn by Timothy Zahn. So Scoundrels was the book I had been reading for forever. I just hadn't had to sit down.
Totally gotten her hooked on Timothy Zahn.
And then I got the new series that I got for my birthday or Christmas or whatever. And I read Pawn in less than a week and started Night.
And right now, even though I really love Zahn, his stuff's a little bit too active for me to handle. I go into fight or flight, so I just can't do it right now.
And this has got a lot of stuff in it with interactions with people where you're like, well, who's betraying who?
Yeah, that's not going to be best for me right now.
And then I'm also still reading Our Lady Mother of Apostles. I slowed down on that so I can actually pay attention to it. And while you go into, and I haven't listened as much to Lord of the Rings and Poirot. I've had other things going on, but I need to use the facility, so I'm going to let you talk.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and talk. I have been, let me just go through, okay, yes. I've kind of put on hold my Great Courses Plus course on Russian history and culture. For a little while, I was watching quite a few of the Curiosity Stream documentaries. I had mentioned that last time that I had watched a couple, and I finished the one on the monasteries, which is Saints and Sinners, and it's talking about monasteries in England. I finished that series. And I started one that looked really good. It's on the writings of Queen Victoria. And I enjoyed it until they started getting to Prince Albert. And they were very anti-Prince Albert. Like, they would say things like, well, Prince Albert would punish her in fights and then never give proof for it. They would just make the statement and then just leave it there. And I thought it was really biased, and I thought it was really poor. It was not very well done. I expected better of a documentary. I expected them to do due diligence and to actually support their argument. And I was very disappointed to find them to be so unprofessional. And this was BBC, so I was very disappointed in them. That being said, I watched the whole thing because I was really interested in what Queen Victoria wrote. In spite of the fact that they were just didn't even. I wouldn't have minded if they had made a statement about Prince Albert if they had actually supported their claim. Even if I thought that it could be translated one way or another, at least there would have been some support versus like, and I think this, and just a blanket statement as if it was fact with no support. So anyway, I finished that, was mad, and then I went to my Great Courses Plus, and one of the courses that are currently free, the complete course, is something I actually wanted to pick up, but the Great Courses, they're amazing, but they can be a bit expensive. Quite a bit expensive. I usually had to get them on sale when I had, money coming in. But with the Great Courses Plus, with a subscription, you get access to some of those classes. And I had access to the one that is Victorian England. So I started that one to kind of like give myself a taste again of actual professional reporting. Based on fact instead of opinion, because that really bugged me. I also watched a very short class they had on the Great Fire of London. I believe that was 1066. That completely burned down old London. Medieval London, those buildings don't exist anymore. They all burned down in this Great Fire. And they rebuilt, and that's why most of the buildings in London, the older buildings, would be stone or brick or whatever, because they didn't want to rebuild with wood. And they widened the streets a little bit afterwards. It completely changed the face of London. But we're missing a lot of records because of that Great Fire of London. That was all wiped out. But I have heard it stated that because that Great Fire happened, the plague actually stopped. That's like it cut off the plague because it burned off all your vectors, anything that could be carrying it in. So that was good. It did halt the progression in the plague in London. I think that was the beginning of the end of plague in England, if not the complete end. I also am continuing to read Pride and Prejudice on my Kindle by Jane Austen. I'll read like a chapter or two. But I actually did a lot of reading this time around because I didn't feel like dealing with the stimulation of noise. So I'd read and knit at the same time. Still reading Nurse Come You Here, more stories of a country nurse on a Scottish Isle by Mary J. MacLeod. And I'm about a little over halfway through that. And the last thing that I'm reading is We Too, Victoria and Albert, Rulers, Partners, Rivals by Gillian Gale. So, and I'm really enjoying that. Her style is easy to read. And things that I've read about her, she's a known biographer. She's not just... She bases it off of stuff. And I'll look later at her references at the very end. She doesn't have it footnoted in the front. So I'll take a look and see if she lists her references at the end. But right now it seems to be pretty even-handed, which I like. Okay, so that's all my jazz for reading, watching.
And we're going to have to speed up just a little bit. We're getting long, and I hear Daddy moving around.
Yeah.
So we started a little late this morning.
We did. I'm not really quite sure why we did.
I don't know. Oh, I know why.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shop news.
Yeah. Okay, shop news. I'm not sure what I showed you last week. I have had small updates in the past week, and I still have a couple to put on there. I'm not sure. I think I showed you Rabbit last week. I have...
Yeah, you did show Rabbit last week.
Yeah, I have 2 skeins of DK and two skeins of fingering, and the DK I think is up in the shop. The fingering will be going up today or tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I have Rose and Bloom is up already. I think Rose and Bloom is up already, and this is just a DK. I only have the one, but I think I can make this one again. I think I have it in my recipes. And this one, this is what's fun about Impressionist. This turned out completely different from the DK. Even the DKs were different from each other. This is a fingering sock, and depending on how much you use and how much you have left of the colors,
very fun. That could almost be autism awareness.
It could. It is. All of them could be autism awareness. I have. If you look at the DK and then look at this one, you can see how much different it is. So this one is up in the shop, or is going up in the shop, and then this one. This one is really hard to photograph, and I don't know if it's going to show up really well. This is...
it's showing fairly well, Mom.
This is Hydrangeas of My Dreams, and this is Patty's fault. Patty wanted me to do something with purple hydrangeas. So this is a DK. I have a fingering sock, sparkle, a Stardust base, and a fingering sock downstairs drying. It does take the dye a little differently for each base.
I think that's fairly normal, though.
But this is what it looks like. If you can, yeah, oh, it is showing up really nice. Mm-hmm. It doesn't show up on the pictures very well.
But for some reason, it's showing up really nicely on the camera.
Yeah. I might have to look up and see if I can find how to better take photographs of what is predominantly a purple skein, but with some pops of blue and fuchsia. Mm-hmm. And this is the DK base.
Because you've always had troubles with purples picking up.
Right. Even when Daddy, my husband's a photographer as well. He, as other things, he had a really hard time getting the purples and the blues to photograph properly. Mm-hmm. So I do have more of this downstairs. I am planning on dyeing up another DK and another Stardust and another regular fingering sock. A Stardust fingering sock. And so that's a few more skeins. If you like this color and you want it on a different base, let me know. This one will be going up as soon as I have the other ones to put up, and I talked to the person who had said they wanted a skein, but they didn't know what weight. Mm. So if you want this, let me know. It will be going up in the shop eventually. That's that. I do have some ideas. I think I'm going to do more of that, as I said. I want to do, if it's not a horse, it might be a zebra. Mm-hmm. I want to do a black and white skein that I didn't realize I wanted to do, but now I know I want to do it, and hopefully it won't kind of break on me.
Like newsprint did?
Yeah.
Because I think newsprint was your attempt to do a black and white skein, and it broke.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what I can do about that. I might have to play around with how I make sure it doesn't break. But...
And I have no idea how that works because I'm not a dyer here.
Yeah, and then I will hopefully, I'd like to also do some of the more brighter colors, like what is it? It's okay to be different, makes me happy, that kind of stuff.
Do you have any yellows?
I don't have a lot of yellows. I was thinking about maybe Walking on the Sun or Ring of Fire, which I haven't put together yet.
I thought you had one called Walking on the Sun.
I do.
Okay.
I don't have Ring on Fire, though.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking along lines of getting more colors up that are brighter. So we'll see how that goes. I had to just find the time and really, quite frankly, to get my motivation up.
I feel like you could almost do a goldish color and call it Galadriel.
I have a gold already.
But no, I mean like almost like a yellow. Like almost a... Because when I think of her, I think of
Her white hair, her yellow hair.
Her yellow hair and just... But it's not... It's like a bright, light yellow kind of thing.
A butter almost.
Yeah, because she's just so bright.
Yeah. We'll have to think about that. That might be something to do. We'll see. We'll see. I have a lot of kind of things in my head. I've been very diffuse in my creativity, so it's hard to focus on one thing. So hopefully, because I also have some patterns in my head. So we'll see what happens.
It's very hard if you have too many interests, because then it's... Actually, that's never been an issue for me, because I've always been fairly focused on interests. You have a lot more in the way of different things you'll try. Okay, so my shop news. Lovebird's Christmas Stocking is still in testing. Release isn't until July 22nd. I have all my testers for that one. Turtle Dove Cowl is in testing. I just got all the testers I needed for that one. And the release date is... I didn't update all the release dates on here. Hold on. Let me give you actual release dates, because I'm now not sure about the release dates. Go away. Okay, don't. Let's go to this one instead. Okay, so the release date for the Turtle Love is actually July 20th. I have all the testers I need for that. The Lovebird Stocking is July 22nd. I have all the testers I need for that. And I have one other one. Where is it? I'm missing one. One of them is...
Is it your migraine?
Yeah, the migraine baby blanket. That's July 30th. I'm pretty sure it's July 30th. I don't have it down here. But... Oh, yes, I do. July 30th. So migraine is July 30th. We also have, at the beginning of next month, my Lady's Favor arm warmers pattern will be available in my shop and will no longer be a kit.
Right, I was going to mention that if you want the kit, the yarn and the pattern together, you need to do it between now excuse me, and the end of the day on June 30th. Okay, that's the last day for the kit. And when you buy the yarn from me, I will email you the information to get in touch with Talia, and she will send you a digital version of the pattern, so you will have it for your files. And then I'll send the yarn out to you as well. All you will get from me is the yarn. The pattern will come from Talia.
Yes.
And so if you want to do that, and both colors work for cardiac and dysautonomia, so if you want to do that, maybe start on a Christmas gift with that or something for the Christmas fairies as a contestant or whatever.
Yeah, because you have a very short window to get it at the discount and
right.
You get both the yarn and the pattern.
So
because after the next month you can't get them together.
No, I can make up the yarn for you, but it will be a different price and it won't be a kit together.
Yeah.
So no pressure. We're just letting you know.
No, we're just letting you know
that it will be going away by July 1st.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is firm. That is midnight our time, July 1st, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what you set it up. We set it up for, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
If you see it might even be a little bit before midnight if we both do it before we go to bed.
Yeah, we'll have to. You might get a couple hours again because Ty and I have to do it together. I have to set it up off my. I have to take it off my.
My pattern might go up slightly before she takes
before
down.
I take mine down.
Because I go to bed later than she does, and all I have to do is hit enter because I already have it all in draft.
Right. So that's just a heads up in case you want that. Okay, now.
And I think that might be... Oh, last thing. Davina's hat was published on the 25th of this month. So, yeah, that pattern is now available in my Etsy shop and my Lovecraft shop.
Perfect. Okay, is there anything else we need to talk about?
No, I mean, weather's been affecting me, so, it's just a...
Weather affects everybody here in some way or shape or form. So, her a little more than maybe the rest of us, but yeah. So we're gonna go ahead. I was gonna say something else, but I don't need to talk about that. So it's getting long, and I don't want to keep you here any longer than necessary because you have other things to do with your time, surprisingly. We do want to thank the people who have commented.
Yes.
We want to either on YouTube or on PHN, our home, PHN, was it PHNforums.freeforums.net or PHN home?
No, it's just...
PHN podcast.freeforums.net. It's in the Dropbox.
It's in the Dropbox, yeah.
Okay.
We have all the appropriate links down on the Dropbox.
On
YouTube.
So I'm going to thank the people that I saw, but we've gotten such an influx. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Pat, Renna, Looney Hiker, Steph, Sequoff75, Chronically Crocheting, Meditative Crafter, Amarina, Lovin' Every Stitch, by Ruby Baby, Dana's Wanderlust Crochet, Ellie, and Petra's Happy Place. Want to thank all of you for...
And anyone who we missed, because we've gotten a lot of comments.
That's what I was
recently.
saying. Anyone who we missed, because I did this just before we started recording, and we have been picking up some viewers thanks to this Christmas fairies, and we don't want anyone to think that we've just ignored them. Okay.
And we do usually run this long, guys.
Yeah.
This is fairly normal for us.
Well, usually we run about an hour and a half, but
yeah.
we got excited, and we do this quite a bit. So
right, if I'm not feeling well, we might run really short. I mean, more than just a little not well. I mean, like zonked. We might run like even an hour.
Sometimes even 45 minutes. We have that occasionally, but usually we run about an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah.
So, having said that, we don't have any home or doctors or anything like that right now to talk about. So we want to wish you all a very wonderful week full of knitting, crocheting, whatever it is that makes your heart happy, and a very blessed, safe week. And the 4th of July is coming up for next week for those of us in the States. So want to wish you a happy 4th of July. And we hope to see you next week here for the Fun in the Woman Cave. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 408. And that's a wrap.
Bye.